took things that were familiar to people and then questioned them by placing my own text and trying to subvert that. Something incongruous can make someone laugh, and that's where I guess the playfulness comes from.
So can you tell me about the title of that master's project, A Humid Day?
A lot of people think that a book, A Humid Day, is in a way quite didactic, in a sense that it's trying to teach you something, but I'm actually not trying to teach anyone anything. I'm just trying to show people the possibilities of thinking slightly differently, thinking in a really skewed way about things. It's an infinitely malleable text. I've taken words from pieces of everyday packaging and replaced it with the text from this book. This was the first book that I made. It's a psychology textbook that has a thesaurus structure running through it.
Okay.
And then I placed my little bits of text in between. The constant mantra that I had when I was making the white book was to define the question and define it again and define it again and then define it again, and I came up with all these notes. And I just wrote without even considering it being a coherent piece of text. I had to find places to write them so that I could find them again. And so I would be writing on my hand writing on little post-it notes. It was just a spillage of ideas that I couldn't stop.
And so would you consider it a personal reference?
My subject is that of a displaced person, which is what I am. So the phrase "a humid day," it just relates to air that's pregnant with possibilities. It also relates to where I grew up in Malaysia. It's always humid. Both my parents are from the Hakka clan. Hakka means guest people, which basically means that they were outsiders. That's got some sort of psychological bearing of me being an outsider. Because I have been displaced from the culture that I was born in, it's like I have to create this new personality in order to function within a New Zealand context. Both of my grandmothers were really good seamstresses. I remember seeing my grandmother's work when I was 10 and just being completely blown away by how fine and how uniform the stitches were.
Right.
I started making hair embroideries late 2004. Hair is a very rich material to work with in the sense that hair alludes to a lot of cultural connotations. It's got DNA, so it's sort of obviously full of yourself. My maternal grandmother taught me how to embroider basic stitches, but I had to evolve my own stitches because hair is a very different material from thread. Hair tries to spring around. It's like wire, basically.
Yeah. It wouldn't be the most cooperative thing for embroidery, I would have thought.
Yeah.
It has a memory, you know, it's got a really strong memory of it, or how it should be. And
yeah, I've had to soak hair just to relax it, and then I have to sort of lay it down flat when I'm drying it so it doesn't have all those little kinks.
This is the first one you made?
Yeah, it is the first one.
Wow, that is tiny.
I decided to make an embroidery of a dragon because it's an image that many immigrants, I find, kind of hold on to.
It really represents empowerment, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Because I am naturally kind of a shy person, I want to be a dragon.
There seems to be a body of work using skeletal motifs as well. Can you tell me about what's behind that?
Because there is that association with hair and death. In the Victorian era, people would take locks of hair from dead people and make little brooches. So there's that obvious connotation of death. In a way, I've made this little skeleton of myself using my own proportions to take the place of death. But there's also taking something external and delineating something that's actually inside. And I called it I Am Here and There. It was extremely difficult, and I would have ended up with a very lopsided skeleton if I didn't unpick every stitch I made at least 2 times. It's the fact that it's impossible that interests me. It manages to draw people in to the work, because once they realize it's hair, they think, oh my gosh, I have to look at it again.
You've now done a stitch, and to me it looks like there's a piece of dust on the on the fabric. It's that small. The room for error is quite small at this scale, isn't it?
It takes a very long time to do. I have my body constricted into this position, hunched over this tiny piece, this tiny area of fabric. And if I get it wrong, I have to do it again.
Is it craft or art?
It's art.
Definitely art, yeah.
Craft is the skills used to make the object, and art is about the ideas surrounding the object. The act of making embroidery is sort of like an obsession, because it's so tiny and constricting that why would anyone in their real mind want to do it?